What is up, everybody? Today I'm going to show you the exact script we're using that is getting us over 14 to sometime 18% positive reply rate. Positive, right? These are people who are actually interested in demos with us and jumping on calls with us. All right, so let's jump through this and it'll be very quick for you to understand how simply this is broken down. And I've highlighted a few key segments of that script that will help you realize how you can easily take this, copy it, and repeat it into your own exact example of your ad ban. Okay, the first step is going ahead and trying to work on intent or that personalization piece. And this can work extremely well at scale. In my case, I use something called Built With, which will go ahead and help me find people using competitive softwares. And then that way I can personalize that first line. Again, you can do this with AI as well and a bunch of other options. There's videos that I've covered on this, but for this example, just using this. Now, the second piece, I've gone ahead and highlighted a key pain point, which is then going to complement our value proposition, is I've taken and pressed on the amount that they're spending for a certain number of inboxes. Again, this was scraped using Built With, and I was able to go ahead and use some basic scraping to go ahead and find the pricing of our competitors. All right, now the next thing is chucking in a simple value proposition complementary to the main pain point that I've highlighted for them, which is, are you interested in cutting costs by a certain percentage? Then I jump into the core values that we provided that match our value proposition, which is unlimited email accounts and a master inbox for a flat subscription. And then I drive it home with the 1/3 cost value metric. Again, so this is cutting costs by certain percentages. That means talking about how much money they'll save. And this is again rephrasing that same piece over here by repositioning that message and saying this is how much you are going to spend, which is again 1/3 of how much you're spending right now. I've kept it as a very simple CTA. Now, this is what a lot of people don't actually do. You want to go ahead and have a very clear-cut CTA. What do you want the customer to do? Do you want them to reply? Do you want them to click a link? Do you want to say a yes? You need to make sure they actually understand what they need to do. Because guess what? A cold email is very similar to a Facebook ad. They're not expecting a message from you. So you need to have a lot of personalization, a lot of core copy intent, and make sure that they actually understand what they need to do next, which is a very clear-cut CTA. Now, I want to mention the most important part of this email and what I believe has actually resulted in the highest amount, contributed the highest factor when it comes to the reply rate over here, is objection handling. Now, when it comes to going ahead with cold emails, or when it has to come with a space that you might be in a competitive environment, you need to make sure you address the head-on pain point, the reservations that your customers will have with respect to competitors or moving from a competitor. The way you do this is simple. There is a bit of manual work where you actually go and look into your G2 reviews. You'll go and look in social forums, Reddit, wherever you have to, where your customers are right now shopping, to understand what are the main areas of reservations they have when they're trying to go ahead and decide between yourself, a competitor, or between two competitors itself. In our case, we know that the deliverability is one of the core factors people care about, and the other thing is social proof as well. They don't want to be the only one using our software, and at the same time, they don't want to risk deliverability over a couple of dollars per se, right? So that's why the PS section, by the way, is read by about 74% of people, which is why I decided to put this over here versus in the main body of the email. So because I know I wanted to catch their eyes over here. What I did was when they read this part, they might have had reservations saying, okay, the price is fine and you're cutting costs, which is great. All this is pretty cool. But in the end, I care about landing in my leads inbox. That's why we said, yep, your deliverability will actually see a boost. And also, you'll be joining 94 other people who signed up yesterday. Now, the 94 and yesterday is important because firstly, that is an actual fact. We do have that number. If people ask for it, don't lie. You just actually have some actual statistics. And second thing is by saying yesterday, the relevancy of it, the freshness is important. Instead of saying we had 94 people sign up 3 weeks ago last week, yesterday, meaning that this is a very active product. There's a lot of people making steps similar to you to come and join us. So that's all it is. Again, this is something you can easily do with your own copy where you go ahead and find your competitors and then mention them to your future customer. Break down your value proposition. In my case, it was cutting down the cost metric. In your case, it might be extra features that you've gotten. And then you can simply mention that, are you interested in adding this extra feature to your entire value proposition instead of using my other software or a service provider? And the best part is basically highlighting that main thing, saying you get all these features bundled up, or not only do we get this feature, but you get 10x what you're getting right now. And then the last piece, soft CTA. And finally, ensure that, yep, just because we have this feature doesn't mean you're losing out on this. You're actually going to get this, this, and this as well. These are all the points that you have found that your audience or your potential customers want to make sure are being addressed when they're trying to convert across. Another example I can give you that we're doing over here is a lot of our potential customers that we've seen when they're transferring between competitors is the cost of transferring across, which is they've got massive infrastructure set up. So how do you go ahead and handle that? So we actually have another PS section over here that we've highlighted where we say, don't worry, we've actually got the conversion costs for you taken care of. So if someone is actually keen and they're willing to move maybe 400 email accounts across from a competitor to us, we actually handle it for them. Or alternatively, we actually have even an API that can easily move across from competitors to come straight to our product. So by addressing that head on, addressing the resistance head on, it actually makes it easy for them to consider you as an actual player in their arsenal versus be like, yeah, look, this is great, but it's just going to be too much effort. You can really pick on that piece by looking at their G2 reviews, look at normal conversations. Just simply go, if your competitor is popular-ish, kind of, just go to Reddit and look on subreddits, or just search, just literal Google review that person and go to Facebook and look for any mentions or look for any mentions on other forums. And you'll realize the common resistances people have when they're looking to convert. So that's all. You can easily take this and apply to your own copy, your own outbound, and your own sales cycle. Obviously, what we're using over here is Smart Lead, because Smart Lead actually lets you manage different variants of this, A/B test it, put some spin tags in, so you increase that deliverability as well. So hopefully this helps you. I'll see you in the next video. And if you like this and you want more of this, please subscribe and like this so we can spread the message and get more people involved in the outbound space, get more money, get more bread. Thank you and have a great day.